Hey everyone, I am so happy to have a special guest join us here on Trensetta Lounge. Her name is Honor Williams. She was a graduate, or is a graduate of Howard University Law School. She also is a commentator on TMZ.
To bring it back to J-Lo, she looks amazing. I need her to release her workout plan, her diet plan, and whatever miracle oil she is taking. I need her to bottle it up and sell it.
She is also a former intern with the Obama administration with First Lady Michelle Obama. In addition to that, she was working with the Recording Academy, the Grammys, MTV, Vh1, just to name a few. And also, while she was in law school, she worked for New Jersey United States Senator Cory Booker on their press team. So thank you so much for joining us today, Honor.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it. If you could just explain briefly to the people and to the folks who are tuning in today, just a little bit more about who you are.
My name is Honor Williams. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I think you did a great job of everything else. And I'm just really excited to be on the Trensetta Lounge today.
Okay, and so you work for the White House, the Obama White House. We don't hear that too often. If you could just talk a little bit more about what you did during that administration and during your time there.
I was part of her Correspondence department. So anything that had the First Lady's signature went through our office. We did responding to letters written into Mrs. Obama, to thank you notes, to invitations. Anything that had her signature went through our office.
Okay. And what was it like? You were the last class of the Obama administration. It was coming to an end, meaning the Obama administration. How did that feel, just being one of the last intern classes? What was going through your mind, and what was it like during that time?
Last spring class, so a lot of our reunions only had 2 left, and one in the summer and one in the fall. And so my fall reunion, it was right after President Trump had gotten elected. So when I returned, everything from the Obama administration was scrapped. Pictures were off the wall. People were so sad. A lot of employees assumed that former Senator Clinton was going to be elected. So hopefully some of them could have stayed on to the new administration. But with the election of President Trump, everyone was very seldom. They knew they had to look for new jobs. And it was just a very sad time to leave that White House.
All right. And so let's pivot a little bit here. You are an attorney now. You graduated from Howard University Law School. If you could just talk a little bit more about your experience during that time. Well, let's actually go back. Let's talk about the application process. What was that like for you?
So actually, mentioning the Obama administration, I was doing my application process during the administration. So all of my fellow interns were down and heard me struggle through everything, from even deciding where I wanted to go to law school, deciding if I wanted to go to law school, where I wanted to stay. So I didn't want to go to Howard. I hadn't applied there. I got a random email in March during the internship that said, hey, if you apply, we'll extend the application process. I completely ignored that email, let the extended deadline pass, because I knew I didn't want to stay in DC. I didn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. So I got another email from Howard Law, and this was a time when I couldn't get a job and even an interview. Here I am working for Michelle Obama, and I couldn't get an interview anywhere. Mm-hmm. So I got another email from Howard that said, hey, we'll extend the deadline again. We'll waive your application fee if you just submit it. So I submitted the application, and the rest is history.
Okay. And what was that process like, applying, sending in your personal statement, your resume, your cover letter, and then also taking that bar exam?
To start for law school, you have to take the law SAT, your LSAT. Just like for college, you took your SAT. For law school, you take your LSAT. That was strenuous. Actually, I didn't take it as seriously as I should. My score wasn't as high as it should because I didn't take the time to truly study for it. Mm-hmm. I highly recommend people to take a course, and even if you can't afford a class, to just be disciplined and taking the time to go step by step in a workbook or anything to actually study for it, because it is a hard test. I took the LSAT when I was still in college. You can only take it up to 3 times in, I think, about 5 years. I don't know if that's changed by now, but that's how it was then. So truly need to study for that. And I had my scores. I submitted my application. Same as college, you have your personal statements, your letter of recommendation. You submit it through LSAT is what it's called. You select what schools you want to apply, you submit it. Same way you apply for merit scholarships in college, this happens in law school. You get your merit scholarships when you get your acceptance letter, if you're offered one, and you apply for outside scholarships as well. And you get accepted. Your first year is hard. Try to get the highest grades you can possible. You'll be applying for journal, law review. At the end, you have on-campus interviews, your 1L summer. Your 3L year, you'll be applying to take the bar. So even applying to sit for the bar is going to be the most in-depth background check you will ever have. It was similar to our White House background check. They're checking everything. They are checking where you lived at. Some states require credit score, everything. Like your tickets you had on your car, they are checking it to truly make sure that you're qualified to be an attorney. And then you sit for the bar and you hope that you pass to actually be able to use your law degree you just earned.
Wow, so it might as well be a clearance, at this point.
It is. They should do a dual clearance. You pass law school, but for the bar, you should get a government clearance.
Right, and be allowed to go to the White House if needed. But one young lady, she reached out to me because she has an interest in going to law school. But before I get to that question, Howard University is one of the most top law schools, Howard University Law School, in the country, if not the world. Did you apply to any other law schools during this process, or did you know Howard was the one?
So it was really my experience at the Obama White House that led me to Howard. My class had such a camaraderie. Actually, all of the Black interns had our own little group. Actually, and we would have speaker series with some of the other African-American members of the administration. So it was about 37 of us that were African-American, and we just bonded. Like every Friday we would hang out, we had happy hours, we even had a fish fry when our internship was over. So I had such a bonding. Like we still have a group that's called the Real Black Interns at the White House on GroupMe. So I just had such a camaraderie with fellow African-American young Black people that were doing things were about change the world, that were about social change. And so that really inspired me to go to Howard. I just wanted a continuation of that.
So a young lady, she sent in a question because she's also interested in going to law school. And she said that she has a few, schools that she's considering, but some of her questions, and I'll take them bit by bit, but the first one she has is, do you think the job market for those who have an interest in law-related work is better there in California or someplace else? I know you were in California for a little bit, but what's your input on this?
So California definitely has a lot of law schools, and so remember that California law schools, some of them may not be accredited. So if they're not accredited, that means you can only practice law in California. So just keep in mind when you're applying to law schools. But I can't really speak on the job market in California because I'm located here in Washington, D.C. I went out to LA for a Grammys weekend, and I was blessed to attend an entertainment law initiative luncheon for the Grammys there and meeting some of the great lawyers out there. If you definitely want to do entertainment, at some point you're going to have to go to New York or Los Angeles. It's just a fact for that, so just keep that in mind. And I think there definitely is a job market. You'll actually be surprised how many different positions there are for those with a law degree. I was even surprised going to law school. You can go to a law firm. You can do public interest. You can go work in doing policy. So many things you can do with a law degree. And if you truly want to be a lawyer, please don't let the job market be a hindrance for you.
Yeah, and definitely being aware of your purpose and, your goals when also entering into law school. As you stated, it was a lot of different complexities from the beginning and to the end, as being a part of this whole entire process.
Yeah.
And then also you mentioned about entertainment. If you could just talk a little bit more about your mission behind wanting to get into law and intersecting both entertainment and social justice.
It's really always been, entertainment has been an interest for me forever. I used to model and act as a kid, hated that side of it, hated it, burning passion. But my mom mentioned entertainment law, and so here we are. And at the White House, it just really solidified that they were amazing at bringing entertainment mixing in with policy. So, for example, First Lady Michelle Obama, when she had her Let's Move initiative, she had her policy beside, like, trying to fight childhood obesity, but she brought in Beyonce to do a song to get people up and active. So that's a prime example of that. And you see celebrities now doing the exact same thing. 50 Cent producing For Life, showing what it's like to be a lawyer and fighting for justice. You see Kim Kardashian fighting for prison reform now. So seeing how you can truly mix entertainment and social justice together to bring awareness to issues other people would not be exposed to otherwise is really a movement that I want to be a part of.
Wow, amazing. And going back to the young lady who's interested in law school, she also asks, does the cost outweigh the benefit? Please do help.
So I just graduated, so I will admit I have debt. It's a reality that for a lot of people, they do have law school debt. I am blessed to have a job, and I'm blessed to be able to pay my student loan payment. So right now, I can't really say if the cost outweighs the benefit, but maybe in 10 years, I'll let you know.
Okay, all right, and we'll definitely have to check in on that, Honor. And let's pivot here. So I love your Instagram. You have a lot of different pictures. I feel like you definitely put a lot of thought into it. And so I was just curious if you have any advice on getting the perfect picture, or maybe even some apps that you use to edit your photos. If you could just let us in on some secrets of yours.
Actually, I don't edit my pictures. A lot of people ask me that all the time. They're usually just straight portrait mode. Most of my photos were from my old 8+. They're portrait mode, and just knowing your angles. I think taking the time and knowing your angles, and so when people take your photos, you know exactly, boom, this is what looks good. Let's not try any other positions. Don't hold the camera any other way. I'm telling you exactly what works for me, and that's usually that. That's my Instagram.
Okay. Do you do like an angle when you do your selfies, or do you do it like straight on? How do you do, you know?
Up and down. You got to hold it up and tilt it down.
Okay. So
like up and down.
Okay.
And I have a Lumi case. So one of the cases that light up.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
those do help. They help.
All right. So a little glow, a little angle, and you get the job done. All right. And so, what do you think the mission is for millennials now during this time of being quarantined and during COVID-19?
I think this is the first time that everyone's forced to be still. I feel like, especially as millennials, and especially even it being in the times where we're always on the move, we're always busy, we're always doing something, but we never sit back and just rest. And I think that's really what we're in right now, a time to rest and reflect and to plan. I think that's what the biggest thing we can do right now in COVID-19 is, because we truly don't know what the world is going to be like once we leave here. So the best thing we can do now is plan for it. We still may not know, but I definitely know that you will fail if you have no type of plan, especially career-wise for millennials. Especially me, I'm just graduating from law school, and I haven't thought what I want to do long-term in my career. So this is really the time I'm just sitting, reflecting what I've done in the past, reflecting what I truly enjoyed, reflecting where I want to see my life, and just setting up plans for how to achieve that.
Okay. And how do you do that, Honor? Do you have a journal? Do you listen to music? What does that look like for you?
I love music. It's a passion. I loved interning at the Grammys because I was surrounded by musicians all the time. All I did was talk about music. But I have an organizer. So every day, I tell everyone this, go to TJ Maxx. They have some really cute planners. Okay. Just sit there and find one that works for you. I have one that does have spiritual quotes on it. And I just plan out my month. Like, these are my goals for the month. And then each day, what my to-do list is. So I wake up in the morning. I have it actually next to me here, my to-do list for the day. So I have my personal to-do list and then my job to-do list. And then just checking it off and then moving in things I didn't complete today to the next day. And I think just sitting and making goals and achieving it, something about getting it on paper just actualizes it for me. So I tell everyone, go get you a cute planner and use it every day, and some cute pens with different color ink, something that's what you want to write every day, and just write down what you want. Okay. Truly. Yeah.
Now that TJ Maxx is closed, maybe go to Amazon or another online store. Target, okay. Target, oh yeah, Target has some cute planners. Target has a lot of cute stuff, but yeah.
Yes, they have really good ones for cheap.
And then I was also wondering during this time of COVID-19, let's see here. Are you reading any books right now?
I was. What was I reading? I was.
Or do you have any suggestions of books for folks to add to their reading list? I'm always adding some, so.
Never Eat Alone is really good. I actually bought the autobiography of Malcolm X a while ago that I haven't started right now.
Okay.
Actually, they're sitting here. So I have Becoming is here too.
Okay.
I have The Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl by Issa Rae.
Okay.
So it's kind of her story. That's actually really good. Like, it's a lot of things in her career that people don't know. So I would say recommend her book too.
And Insecure just premiered this past Sunday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it did. You know, my baby Jadena had a concert on Instagram Live. So I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I love Jadena. Sorry, totally off topic, but yes.
Go ahead.
So yes, I would say Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl for Issa Rae, Autobiography of Malcolm X, and I have Think and Grow Rich.
Okay, that's a nice list. I'm definitely going to add some of those. I always have a running list, so. And what foods are you cooking if you are cooking, you know, these couple of weeks and days that we've been in COVID-19?
So cooking is my downfall. I am very cook.
Okay.
Like, I always explain this to people. I can cook enough for you to survive and not get sick, but I will never host a dinner party.
Okay.
You will never see me cooking on Instagram. I just So I have a Starbucks addiction. So I leave the house every day to go get Starbucks.
What's your favorite Starbucks drink?
Mine is so plain, believe it or not. I really could make it at home, but I get a grande iced vanilla coffee with 5 pumps of vanilla and extra ice and non-fat milk.
Okay. So exact.
So simple.
And let's see, do you have any favorite snacks that you're eating? Not only during quarantine, but just any favorite snacks in general?
I'm addicted to fruit snacks. And that spinach artichoke dip they have like TGI Fridays sells them in the freezer aisle. So I've been warming those up with chips every day.
Okay, like tortilla chips or?
Yeah, tortilla chips.
Okay, nice. And what about any podcasts? Are you a podcast type of girl or?
A podcast person. I'll sit and listen to interviews on YouTube type of person.
Ooh, what YouTubers are you listening to or watching?
I do a lot of The Breakfast Club. I know it's trash.
I like The Breakfast Club, so I know.
So I can literally put that on all day and listen to The Breakfast Club.
Okay. And then we have a segment on this series of Trensetta Lounge called I Got a Question. So I have a few out of the box and interesting questions that I want to ask you, Honor. So let's get into it. The first one is, what was the last thing that you Googled?
Last thing that I Googled is something similar. I think Zoom app. I had to download Zoom for this.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Yes. Zoom, by the way, those who are tuning in, Zoom has been the most downloaded app, as well as Facebook Live. They've been the most video and social media type of programs, I guess you would say, that a lot of folks have been using during this time. So that's also a fun fact as well. Yeah. Let's see here. If you could pick one snack, well, I guess before we go into this, do you like going to clubs or do you like going to like speakeasies? What's your thing?
I'm at the club.
Okay. Okay, so for this question, if you could pick one snack to bring, and yes, you're bringing a snack in this scenario, to the dance club, what would you bring?
French fries. I'm addicted to French fries.
Okay, do you like wedges or do you like skinny? Like, how do you like them cut?
Kind, any way you want to fry it, dip it, flip it. I'm eating. I actually don't like ketchup, so I usually just eat French fries with like salt and pepper.
Do you put Obey on your French fries? I know that's like a DC, Maryland, Baltimore type thing, but
I did in high school because our first year we didn't have salt and pepper, but we did have Old Bay. So I would put Old Bay on my fries.
okay. Okay, all right. And let's see here. Do you like red or green Skittles? Which one?
I think I'm gonna go with red.
Okay.
I don't like candy apple. Is it green candy apple? If it is, I don't like candy apple. Or is it lime?
I don't even know. I think it might be candy apple.
Then we're going with
Okay, red. All right. So that was the end of that segment. But where can folks find and connect with you and, stay up to date with what you're doing, Honor?
So my Instagram is what I'm on usually. So it's Miss Honor Williams ESQ, and my same for LinkedIn is not Miss. It's just Honor Williams ESQ on LinkedIn. Or you can email me honorwilliams1995@gmail.
Okay. Based in Washington, D.C., so hopefully once this whole COVID-19 situation is over, maybe you all can link up with her. She has definitely done some amazing things, so she's a wonderful young lady to connect with and just, ask questions. I know people use social media as a tool to connect with one another, so maybe, don't hesitate to reach out to Honor. Like I said, she's definitely one to know. So thank you, Honor, for, sitting down with us today in the Trensetta Lounge and allowing us to share your story and also, give us some information along the way. If you all know a trendsetter or if you yourself are a trendsetter, you can DM me at Cami Simmons on my Instagram. You can email me. You can send me a Facebook message or whatever you need to do to get in contact with me. We want to know what those trendsetters are. So until then, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And until then, we'll see you all in the next video.